we're gonna talk about food labeling. First, most prepackaged foods sold in Canada require a label, but there are some exceptions. First, one-bite confections sold individually. Remember, lollipops are not one of them. Fresh fruits or vegetables that are packaged in a wrapper or confining band of less than 13 millimeter in width, or in a transparent protective wrapper or bag that only displays information such as price, barcode, number, code, environmental statement, or product treatment symbol. And then meat and meat byproducts, as well as poultry and poultry meat or poultry meat byproducts that are barbecued, roasted, or broiled on the retail premises, and horse meat or horse meat byproduct, food additive or food additive preparation, radiation treated flour. And there are other consumer prepackaged foods exemptions. Certain foods are exempt from labeling requirements under Section 299 of the SFCR. This includes foods that are made and packaged for use by businesses, institutions, but not sold by them. Foods made and packaged solely for sale in duty-free shops, and foods given away for free, like samples. And then let's move on to non-prepackaged foods. There are non-prepackaged foods that require a label. These foods can have their nutritional information on a tag or sign accompanying the food, and not necessarily placed on the product itself. So first is meat and poultry products that are barbecued, roasted, or broiled on the retail premises need a label. And then food additives. Any substance or mixture of substances used as a food additive or food additive preparation, like a meat tenderizer, requires a label. This label must provide a quantitative statement of the amount of each additive present or directions for use that will not result in the food containing such additives in excess of the maximum levels of use prescribed by the Food and Drug Regulations. And then there are irradiated foods, horse meat or horse meat byproduct, and non-prepackaged meat products for interprovincial or international trade. And then there are labeling requirements for meat and poultry products. Meat and poultry products in Canada include a specific feature known as the inspection legend. We talked about this before, right? This inspection legend serves as a certification that the meat or poultry product has been inspected and meets the required food safety standards. And then there is an industry labeling tool. This is a reference tool for all food inspectors and stakeholders in Canada. It provides information about food products that require a label, general principles for labeling and advertising, allergen labeling tips, and more. And then let's move on to mandatory food labeling requirements. So this is about the compulsory information that must be included on food labels, which are bilingual labeling, common name, country of origin, date markers and storage instructions, list of ingredients and allergens, net quantity, legibility and location, irradiated food sweetener, food additives, fortification grades, and standards of identity. And then let's dive in some of these requirements. First is bilingual labeling. All mandatory information must be shown on the label in both English and French, with some exceptions like dealer name and address, common name of some alcoholic beverages, shipping containers, and non-retail containers, and test market foods. And for the common name part, the common name on the food label refers to the standardized name of the food as set out in the Food and Drug Regulations or other regulations. For example, orange juice from concentrate, butter, and chocolate are all common names. If a standardized name is not prescribed, the food is labeled with a name by which it is commonly known, such as orange drink or chocolate chip cookie. This common name must be displayed on the principal display panel, PDP, of the product, which is the part of the label that is most likely to be seen by the consumer at the time of purchase. And then let's move to net quantity. The net quantity on a food label indicates the amount of food in the package. It must be declared in metric units. such as grams or millimeters, on the principal display panel of prepackaged foods for retail sale. The net quantity can be declared by volume for liquids, by weight for solids, or sometimes by count for items like dinner rolls or gum. When it is established by trade practice, there are also specific requirements for the size of the numerals used in the net quantity declaration based on the size of the principal display panel. And then let's move to the identity and principal place of business. The business name and address on the food label identify the party responsible for the production or importation of the food product. This information must be declared on any panel of the label except the bottom. The address should be complete enough for postal delivery, and while the level of detail is not prescribed, it should at least include the city and province or Canada and the postal code. An exception to this requirement is for fresh foods and vegetables that are prepackaged on the retail premises and are visible and identifiable in the package. The principal place of business refers to the main location where the actual business activities of the company occur. And then move on to nutrition labeling. This is about the nutritional information found on the labels of prepackaged foods. Nutritional Facts Table, NTF, is a standardized table found on prepackaged foods that provides information about the nutritional value of the food. And we should know that some foods are exempt from having an FT. First, 1-bite candy, lollipops are not, and portions served with meals in restaurant and milk in glass bottles, they are always exempted. And foods with all values in the NTF being 0, raw single ingredient meats, poultry, fish, and seafood, fresh fruits and vegetables and combinations, food sold by the person who produced them at roadside standers, fairs, farmers markets, sugar bushes, etc., and foods prepared and packaged at retail are exempted under certain conditions. And we should know that certain products like infant formula, meal replacements, nutritional supplements, and formulated liquid diets are prohibited from carrying an FT. And remember, protein bars and energy bars do not belong to this category. And then let's look at the clerk served foods. There are foods that are packaged at the request of a customer, such as Della meats sliced and packaged at the Della counter, or gift baskets assembled based on the customer's order. They do not require a label. This also applies to the foods that are sold unpackaged and then packaged by the consumer, like bulk bean items. However, if these foods are packaged by a clerk before a sale, they are considered prepackaged and must be fully labeled. So that's it for today. See you next time.